Hi guys, in this video I would like to discuss a topic that many students struggle with when they have to write an essay, and that is creativity. And I would like to share some ideas that may help you to solve this problem. I recognize basically a few sources of inspiration that you can draw upon, and it always works for me, so perhaps it also is useful for you. And in my case, I think about four sources of inspiration. And I try to connect the essay topic with at least two of these sources of inspiration. The first one would definitely be, for me, economics, because I am an economist, by the way. And that is easy for me to talk about, of course. And yeah, like I said, a lot of these essay topics you can relate to economics. There is always something related to inflation, prices, pensions. You could relate it to work, housing, or debt. And if not economics, the environment is always a nice topic to draw upon. For instance, everything has, of course, its CO2 footprint. You can talk about waste, global warming, extreme weather. And the other two would be health and education. For instance, in health, many topics can be related to disease, to suffering, or to the medical sector, or the last one, education, right? Now, to give you an example of how I would do something like this, let's take a look at the next example, which is longevity. Longevity is basically the idea that people live longer. And how can you relate longevity with economics, for instance? Now, of course, living longer automatically means that you will need money to survive. So you can think about pensions. How does longevity influence pensions? And if they do not have pensions, they will probably have to work more. And what about housing? So here you can link basically longevity quite easily with some economic topics like pensions, work, and housing. Another thing that will definitely be important would be the environment. How can you relate longevity with CO2 and waste? The more we live, of course, the more waste we produce. So that will be a problem as well when you grow older, for the world, that is. And then, of course, also health. How can you link longevity with health? Well, basically, when you live longer, automatically you will get sick, right? You will need medical assistance. Perhaps there will be some suffering. And what about the strain that longevity puts on the medical sector, right? And lastly, of course, education. Now, how can you relate longevity with education? Perhaps you could study what the connection is between nutrition and longevity, right? So there you have some topics, some sources of inspirations you can draw upon in order to write something about in your essays. And the next question, of course, how can you relate these things to, let's say, a topic sentence for your paragraphs? Let's take a look at the next slide where I try to do this. For instance, economics. Remember, by the way, that a topic sentence tends to be short and simple. Simple in the sense, a simple sentence versus compound sentences and complex sentences. Now, let's take a look at the first one, economics. A simple topic sentence could be something like this. Longevity may lead to pension difficulties. Now, a sentence like this is, in my opinion, a good sentence because it provokes explanations, which of course you're going to do in the remainder of the paragraph. In this case, longevity may lead to pension difficulties. Firstly, supporting idea number 2. What is more, supporting idea number 2. And then you come up with an example and you close the paragraph. Now, the same thing you can do for the environment. For instance, living longer may damage the environment. To begin with, in addition to, for example, and you close with a sentence. Let's take a look at the last two. Health. Longevity may impact the health sector in several ways. Firstly, secondly, etc., etc. Education. Schools can play a vital role in preparing us for longevity. And then, of course, you can continue with the rest of your paragraph. I think I discussed this before, but make sure, I think, when you write your topic sentence, do not explain anything in your topic sentence, right? Just make your statement, and this statement should be such a statement that provokes an explanation, right? And the explanation is exactly what you're going to do in your body paragraph 1 and 2, with supporting idea number 1, supporting idea number 2, an example, and you close the paragraph following a very simple paragraph structure with topic sentence, supporting idea number 1, supporting idea number 2, an example, and then a last sentence to close your paragraph. And that's basically it. Okay, well, I hope this video is useful for you when you are struggling with inspiration for your essays. If you like this video, please like it, and perhaps I suggest to subscribe to my channel, because I'm planning to support you with many more videos to come. Okay, now see you next time. Thank you very much.